Hi guys, it's me UB Programmer and welcome to the lecture 10 of DBMS series. So let's just summarize all the picture in one of two sentences. So we create the DFD, which is the data flow diagram about a system or a business for which you are trying to develop the database. Then by following this DFD, we create the ER diagram by following the entity relationship data model, which will acting as the conceptual base of our database, right? Then we will implement this conceptual schema into a practical schema or the practical form by using a DBMS, right? And there can be many DBMS which you can use, like mysql server, uh, and mostly these DBMS, as I said, are based on the relational data model, right? So we will use this DBMS finally to create the database. So this is the whole picture and about the development process of the database. Now let's talk about a topic, and this topic about mainly the foreign key for understanding of it, but we will see what it says. So existence dependency between entity types. So if you remember where we talk about the foreign keys, I have said two tables are dependent on each other, or not each other, but one table will be dependent on the other table, and this dependency will be existential. So the other table can't even exist on its own if you don't have the table number 1, right? So it is existentially dependent on the other table. And so how can we say that one table is existentially dependent on the other? So if instance of an entity type or a table can't exist without being linked to the another table, then we say that the table number 2 is existentially dependent on the table number 1, for which the entity type can't exist on its own, right? And let's say an example. So we have two tables, the faculty and the departments, and this faculty is dependent existentially on the department table. How is that? Because no one can be a part of faculty until it or an employee or teacher belong to a department. So you have to join a department first in order to be a member of faculty, right? So it's not like that you are a member of faculty but you are not uh, belonging to any department. So it will never be the case in at least in our scenario, right? So these two entity types will be connected to each other by the foreign key. We have talked about this in the detail in the lecture number 9. And the department table will have the primary key is the department ID. So I am giving the example. The faculty table will have the primary key as faculty ID. So both tables have their own primary keys, and the faculty table, it will have department ID, which is the primary key of the first table, but here the department ID will be acting as the foreign key in the faculty table. And remember, this faculty table is dependent existentially on the department table. So that was it for this video, guys, and I will meet you in the next lecture of DBMS series. Thanks for watching.